Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. In this video today we're going to take a look at Mary Skelter 2 for the PC. The game was developed by Idea Factory International and Compile Heart and was published by Ghostlight. Mary Skelter 2 for the PC is a bit of a strange one because it literally showed up out of nowhere and took most people by surprise because honestly most people thought that this was never going to show up on the PC because it had been that long since it had first been released. Now it's here for the PC, and before I start this review, I have some bad news. The PC port is indeed censored. So, with that being said, is this version still worth it or not? Here's a review. Firstly, with the game's story, I want to point out that with Mary Skelter 2, you also get a remastered version of Mary Skelter 1. This is great because essentially you are getting two games for the price of one. Yet it is a bit odd with the main story, as some people recommend that you play 2 first and then 1. So with this part, I will leave this to you in which order you want to play them in. With Mary Skelter 2's story, it's all about humans trapped within the jail. The jail is a living prison that feeds on the humans trapped from within inside. And with this game's story, it's about a small group of humans and their story of survival in a world full of monsters and horrors. Personally, I think that this game's story is very good, and I feel that it's a lot more horror orientated than something like Death End Request or Dragonstar Varnia, which promised that they would be horror, but didn't really quite cut the mustard. My only complaint with this game and Mary Skelter 1 is that at times, just like Death End Request 1 and 2, the visual novel sections can be extremely long and at times a bit tedious. But this is a visual novel type game, so it is to be expected. There's a fair few characters that you'll meet throughout the game who will either join your team as a combatant, or who will go back to HQ and assist you via the item shops or other features. I found that I liked the characters in this Idea Factory game a lot more than what I did with others, such as Death End Request 1 and 2, yet I feel like the characters for this game are missing something special about them, and I can't quite figure out what it is. They're good, but they just don't have that chemistry that you get with other characters, such as the girls from the Neptunia franchise. Gameplay is split into 2 sections. The first half is a visual novel, which I'm sure if you've ever bought an Idea Factory game before, you'll know and come to expect this, as it is pretty much your bread and butter. The second half is a dungeon crawling RPG adventure, much like that of Labyrinth of Refrain. It is a bit complicated to explain, especially if you've never seen or played this type of game before. If you have played Labyrinth of Refrain and want more of the same, then you will enjoy this one. If you have never played anything like this before, then it will be a brand new experience for you, and one which I recommend that everyone tries at least once. Mary Skelter's 2 graphics are a bit hit and miss. The visual novel drawings look absolutely excellent, and my only real fault with them is that even at full screen, they didn't look as clear or as crisp as what I'm used to, but I am beta testing the game, so it could possibly be that. The rest of the game's graphics, however, do also look a little bit limited and dated upon first inspection. Don't judge a book by its cover, however, because whilst the rest of the game might not look as polished, that's also part of its charm and its magical quality, which I will explain more in the next section. So, just like I said a moment ago, the game's graphics might look a bit limited when you first look around in the gaming world in which you're in and that you're exploring. Trust me on this one, just play the game and give it a few minutes and explore the locations in which you're in. Very quickly, the game's levels draw you into them, as they're a mixture of puzzles, hazards, deadly traps, and more. They really force you to take a look at them, and they really force your little grey cells to activate, as exploring this game's environments require thinking and planning in order to survive. So, with everything that's been said, with the game being censored and such, is this still worth a purchase or not? Honestly, I'm struggling with this one. I don't support censorship of any kind, and I find it a bit hypocritical that one thing in this game is censored over another. I am happy to see the game finally get a PC port, and I would like to see Finale on the PC as well. It's just a case of at what cost. I have said before, I am currently beta testing the game at the moment for this video, and it comes as what it is. When this has probably been released, someone out there might make a patch to restore the cut content, and when it does, I would say that yes, the game definitely would be worth it. However, as things currently stand, with some of the content being removed for no real explanation at all, I would say that it depends on your own moral compass. I do like the game, I do enjoy it, I think it's a great dungeon crawler, and I think it is quite good. However, cutting content from the game itself, when that content is present in a Nintendo Switch version, that just seems a bit ridiculous to me. Especially considering that this is the PC version, and which realistically should have more and better features than what the Switch should have. Well, that's it for this review, guys. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.